You're taking thyroid medication but still exhausted? Today you'll discover why your thyroid isn't working and how to fix it. I'm Dr. Evan Hartley. Let's get started. I'm going to talk about vitamin and mineral supplements for thyroid health. But first, let me tell you this. I specialize in micronutrients, vitamins, minerals, and how to use them effectively in your body. That's my area of expertise. Many systems in our body work like clockwork with micronutrients. Thyroid hormone production, thyroid functions, and the active form of thyroid hormone in your body all depend on specific vitamins and minerals. When you replace these, the system starts working again. If you've liked and subscribed, let's start with the first topic. 1. Why are you still exhausted despite taking medication? The T4 to T3 conversion. Here's the critical point. TSH hormone is released from your brain, sending the command to your thyroid gland to produce hormone. Your thyroid releases thyroid hormone in T4 form. All the thyroid medications you take are also in T4 form, but the real work starts here. This T4 hormone, whether your body produces it or you take it as medication, gets converted to T3 in your body with specific micronutrients. T3 is the thyroid hormone that actually does the work in your body. Your body converts it from T4 to T3 according to its own needs. So, why don't we use T3 directly? T3 is extremely sensitive. The slightest change affects your body immediately. That's why your body has built a safe system. T4 is like coarse tuning. When you're searching for a radio frequency, you first go to 104, then slowly find 104.2. T3 is that fine tuning. Nowadays, doctors usually only check T4 and TSH, but how much T4 converts to T3 is often overlooked. You must evaluate T4 and T3 together. I'm sure many of you are saying, I'm taking thyroid medication, but I'm still tired, exhausted, not like I used to be. This is where zinc plays a critical role in T4 to T3 conversion. Along with zinc, selenium is also necessary. Then for T3 to enter the cells, vitamin A, vitamin D, and exercise come into play. So if you're zinc deficient, if you're vitamin D deficient, your thyroid functions can't work properly. There are also factors that reduce T4 to T3 conversion in the body: chronic stress, constant inflammation, toxin exposure. These block the conversion. The next topic is about the thyroid's most important protector. 2. The thyroid's insurance policy, selenium, and its connection to Hashimoto's. When iodine is used in thyroid tissue, the thyroid peroxidase enzyme comes into play. This enzyme oxidizes to enable thyroid hormone production. Oxidation occurs here. What is oxidation? What are antioxidants? The enzyme that fights oxidation occurring in thyroid tissue is glutathione peroxidase, and the cofactor of this enzyme is selenium. Before I continue, there's something I'm curious about. If you're currently taking thyroid medication, write yes in the comments. If not, write no, please. I'm really curious about this ratio. Anyway, let's continue. Selenium is the most important mineral fighting oxidation that occurs during thyroid hormone production. We can call it the thyroid's insurance policy. Selenium is the fundamental mineral that protects the thyroid, keeps the tissue calm, and prevents breakdown. For this reason, when you supplement with iodine, you must also take selenium. Especially if you have Hashimoto's thyroiditis, high-dose selenium in the initial phase suppresses inflammation and repairs damage in thyroid tissue. So the second critical mineral that makes our thyroid work, selenium. Now let's talk about what the thyroid is and why it's so important. 3. The key to weight control and metabolism. What is the thyroid? The thyroid is an endocrine organ in our neck that extends to both sides in a butterfly shape. It secretes thyroid hormone, and this hormone is so powerful that both its deficiency and excess affect the entire body. If your thyroid hormone is low, general metabolic slowdown, constant sleepiness, fatigue, weakness, weight gain, these are signs of hypothyroidism. If your thyroid hormone is high, tachycardia, meaning heart palpitations, nervousness, eye bulging, weight loss, excessive sweating, these are signs of hyperthyroidism. What we see most frequently in recent years, autoimmune thyroiditis. What does thyroiditis mean? Inflammation in thyroid tissue. This autoimmunity can manifest as Graves' disease, leading to hyperthyroidism, but the most common form we see today is Hashimoto's thyroiditis, an autoimmune condition where the body attacks its own thyroid tissue and causes hypothyroidism. It's especially common in women. The frequency of occurrence has increased seriously in recent years. Behind this increase are problems brought by modern life: increased toxin exposure, environmental factors, disrupted gut flora, and leaky gut. The intestine becomes more permeable to antigenic substances. All of these are associated with Hashimoto's. Nutrition is the most important factor. Dairy proteins can trigger it, gluten can trigger it, or other foods specific to your body can cause it too. The next topic is critically important, especially for women. 4. Hidden danger, ferritin, or stored iron and thyroid functions. If you have problems with your thyroid functions, check your iron levels. Iron stores are extremely important for thyroid functions. Iron deficiency is very common today, especially in women. Your serum iron may be normal. Your hemoglobin value may be normal. But the ferritin value showing stored iron is rock bottom in many women in the population. The reason? Monthly menstrual cycle and the inability to replace this constant blood loss with food. Iron stores don't get filled. Iron deficiency is rare in men, but in women, ferritin is at very low levels in many people. We aim to keep ferritin above 40 to 50, but in many people, ferritin is around 4, 5, 6. This is among the most important micronutrient deficiencies affecting thyroid functions. If you have Hashimoto's, how should nutrition be managed? We'll discuss that in the next topic. 5. Nutrition in Hashimoto's, gut repair, gluten, and dairy protein. If you have Hashimoto's, here's what needs to be done. First, gut repair. Leaky gut must be repaired. Second, regulation of gut flora. Third, regulation of nutrition. These are the first steps. After that, you replace the necessary micronutrients that both fight autoimmunity and enable thyroid synthesis. Nutrition is the most critical factor. Dairy proteins can trigger it, gluten can trigger it, other foods specific to you can trigger it. That's why a personalized nutrition plan is essential. Now we're coming to the thyroid's fundamental building block. 6. The thyroid's main raw material, iodine, and how to detect deficiency. The primary micronutrient in thyroid synthesis, iodine. Iodine is an element found not only in thyroid tissue, but in all tissues that secrete. There are many factors today that lead to iodine deficiency. Fluorine, chlorine, bromine exposure, cigarette consumption, estrogen exposure. All of these deplete iodine in the body. Many people watching this video may be iodine deficient. The diagnosis of iodine deficiency is made with urine iodine to creatinine ratio. If the iodine to creatinine ratio is below 100, there's deficiency. If it's below 50, there's serious deficiency. Here you must replace the iodine. The thyroid organ needs iodine, the main raw material, to produce thyroid hormone. The next topic is about how thyroid hormone enters the cell. 7. The ticket to cell entry: zinc, vitamin D, and vitamin A. Zinc plays a role in converting T4 to T3. Along with zinc, selenium is also necessary. But the work doesn't end here. For T3 to enter the cell, vitamin A, vitamin D, and exercise are needed. If you have zinc deficiency, if you have vitamin D deficiency, your thyroid functions can't work properly. You must replace these deficiencies. Factors that reduce T4 to T3 conversion in the body: constant stress, chronic inflammation, toxin exposure. These block the conversion. Finally, let's talk about how your thyroid values should be interpreted. 8. What should the ideal ratios between T4 and T3 values be? What should T4, TSH, and T3 values be? What should the ratio between them be? The ratio between them is quite important. Example, your T4 value is 2.8 nanograms per deciliter, your T3 value is 4.2 nanograms per deciliter, so there's a 1.5 times ratio. This means for us that the conversion is sufficient. But if T4 is lower, say around 1.8, T3 being 4.15, meaning a 2.3 times ratio, is more reasonable for us. So as the T4 value changes, how much should convert to T3 also changes. Looking at these T4 to T3 conversions from a functional medicine perspective and evaluating how much conversion is occurring will be beneficial. Today I talked to you about critical micronutrients for thyroid synthesis. If you have any questions for me, please don't hesitate to mention them in the comments. I try to answer all comments whenever I have time. I'm Dr. Evan Hartley. On the HealthHub channel, I strive to bring you important information for a healthy life. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment for more content. Stay healthy.